What's going on, guys? I have Omega 2090, and this is one of four. So this is just giving us a little bit of backstory for Jonathan Evans, aka Omega, and we also get a little bit of Thorn, also known as Victor, and we have a new character being introduced here, named Ty. So let's just get on into it. And so we're starting off. We have current day Omega. He's just kind of reflecting on where he came from, the group, all the soldiers that he fought with before he became known as Omega. And so we are going to continue on. So we are out in Afghanistan in the year 2090. And if you've been keeping up with this series, we know in 2090 that's when Crimson Pain basically killed 90 million people. And so this is prior to all of this. This is his team's final mission, and they are going after a bunch of child traffickers, and these people are using these children to harvest organs. So they're really despicable people. So we have Ty and John. They're going out through like these winged suits, and we have Victor providing sniper watch. And so Ty goes in, he's killing people. He's making his way towards this guy. He's like, I got him. And Victor's like, too slow, and pops his head right off. There's a little playful banter. Reminded me a little bit of like Legolas and Gimli in the Lord of the Rings movies. Just kind of having a little competitive numbers game when killing all of these people. And then Ty busts out these electric batons. He bashes one dude in the face and shoots another dude. Head's just gone. So everything's going pretty good. And then there's a dude over at the watchtower, and they're like, "Hey, Steve, can you get that?" And Steve's like, "I got that." Now, who's Steve? This is literally the first time and the last time we're going to see Steve in this issue. So that is kind of a minor gripe. Is what happened to Steve? He's just gone. And so John asked Victor, hey, is anybody down below? Are they aware of us? Are we still good? Victor comes back, hey, everything's good. You got about 6 dudes down there. And so we cut over and take a little look at one of these bad dudes. And his name is, hold on. It is Saddam. And Victor says, hey, I got this asshole in my crosshairs. You want me to take him out? John says, hold off. We got children in there. We can't afford to have any of them hurt. So just wait for my signal. There's no rush. Nobody's alerted to us. And Victor's like, gotcha. So now it's slightly confusing, but right here, Ty and John are actually set up in a different room than where this guy is. It was a little unclear in my first read through. A couple read throughs, I'm just fine, but my first read through, yeah, they're getting ready to set up, but these children that are hostages are separate from the others. So they bust in, they kill these guys. 2 more bad guys come over. They take care of them, no problem. And John tells the little kid, hey, all is okay. You're safe now. Don't worry. And then they move on and go and take out the other bad guys. Now, we get a little monologue. John just kind of reflecting, current day John reflecting on it. He's like, I never would have known that this was one of the last missions I would have with my team. So things are about to go poorly. And I will note one thing, even though that these are, it looks like they're kind of suppressed weapons, we get the little pew. They are right down the hall from where these guys are, and no alert was really raised with them killing the other 4 over here. It seems a little weird. So that is something I'm like, kind of wish we would have cleared that up in some other way to let us know. Maybe just even had it on a different level, right? Instead of a hallway, it's another set of stairs that they have to go down, because it's hard to justify how these guys are not aware of John and his team when it just looks like it's right down the hall. So maybe just put them down the stairs or something like that, where there's a little bit more of a sound barrier than just some open doorway. So yeah, they go in, they kill this dude, Sedan. All the kids are safe, and they're letting them know, hey, all is well. But then Victor's like, hey, we got a convoy of cars coming. Might need to hunker down and get ready, because they're looking kind of pissed off. So John's like, okay, guys, change of plans, follow me. Runs them down, puts them in a safe, and says, under no circumstances do you open this door until we give you the all clear. Closes the door, and they are immediately in a firefight with that convoy. All is not looking good. It's just John and Ty. And Ty's like, hey, this is kind of a bad time because I'm out of ammo. And he's like, well, we're going to have to make it work. So Ty busts out those like electric rods that he had. And it looks like he is able to create a shield to help deflect some of the bullets, while John gives some firepower, some suppressing fire here. And then they go out and do some fighting out there. And John's still shooting, and all is looking bleak, and then we get a big old explosion, and all hell rains down on the bad guys. And we have, let's see, her name is Bruta. And she's like, yeah, miss me, boys? And they're like, yeah, happy to see you, And they're talking about how, they just keep getting lucky, and all is going good. We get the kids loaded up. Again, still no Steve. Poor guy. Don't know what happened to Steve. But we've learned that Steve still lives. They've mentioned that no soldier was ever lost in the missions. Going forward, we'll see that message. And before they take off, Victor and John need to have a little race. And apparently John is... I think he's like 0-6, or sorry, 6-0 for racing with Victor. And we see he increased that lead because Victor's being a little spoiled sport about it. He's like, I've seen you've been working on your vehicle. Don't think I didn't notice. And go back to base. Everybody's happy because, this is the last mission. So we're getting ready to celebrate and basically look forward to retiring. Don't they all? And so, you got Victor and John. They're talking about, what they're going to do out in the real world. They're talking about John having Victor meet Michael, who's, as we know, was into that tournament fighting. And they call it like GI or something like that. I can't remember. And all looks hunky-dory. And here comes Ty running in. And we get some monologue in here, and basically it's John just like, me and Victor talking the way we were pretty much tempting what came next. And Ty's like, General needs to, or sorry, the lieutenant needs to speak with you. And John goes over and talks to him, and then we're finding out he doesn't name Crimson Pain specifically, but we know that it's Crimson Pain just from the other issues. How he's been going around killing all the guild members, and they said that he is currently at the Red Crown. It hasn't fallen yet, but they know that once the Red Crown has fallen, that the Americas are next. So they need to go to the Red Crown and stop him there. And after they've been briefed on the mission, Ty is like, what are you going to tell the others? And John says, well, everybody is, they should be free to go, so I'm going to leave it up to them, but I'm going. And Ty's like, well, it's, you're running into a death trap. And John's like, well, okay, we've ran into that before. No big deal. So John tells the team what's going on. He's like, anybody who doesn't want to be a part of this, just say so, and nobody says anything except, we're with you. And You know, we got Victor, Bruta, and Ty all right there, plus a bunch of other faces. And again, I'm not really sure where Steve is. I keep going over this, but that is kind of an issue I have. I'm like, what the fuck happened to Steve? I feel like he was meant to have a bigger role than what he did. And then, you know, they take off, and that is the issue, or the end of issue 1. And yeah, it's a fucking solid story. We get plenty of action, as one would expect from Project Nemesis at this point, and anything affiliated with it. Lots of blood, and you know, brutal killings. So my biggest issue is the whole Steve thing, and then also the gunfire. Even with suppressed weapons, the fact that they're making any noise at all should be alerting the bad guys. So maybe just changing how everybody was laid out as far as how they were all set off in the building could have cleared that up a little bit. But that's really about it. That's really all the issue I have there. I am liking seeing more from Victor, or Thorn as we know him later on, and seeing him and John interact, because we'll see in the Project Nemesis stuff that Thorn tends to be Omega's like most trusted person, and so seeing how that came to be by having him already working with him from the get-go before they got injected with the serum, it's nice to see that it gives us more story between those two. And you know, Thorn is like my favorite character in Project Nemesis, so it's always good to see my personal favorite just out doing ass-kicking things. So, yeah, I definitely recommend this. And I have at least 2 of these books, so I'll be doing the next one here in a little bit. And I cannot recommend that enough, because though Crimson Pain is not in this issue, they are going to come face-to-face with him. And so we are going to get a first confrontation, and yeah, you probably already know things aren't going to end terribly well for our team. Just if you've been following my reviews, or if you've read these books yourself, you know Crimson Pain is not one to be fucked with. So all good here. I would probably give this book like an 8 out of 10, because we do have some tismy things, and I think that we do need to clean that up a little bit. You know, just trying to account for certain characters. Just, you know, why wasn't Steve able to help when he was clearly had boots on the ground there? It really does seem like he was thought about, and then we took him out and just forgot to take him out entirely. You know, I feel like we could have just had Victor take out the dude in the tower, and then nothing really changes from there on. Or just had Steve be able to interact, or even get killed in some way. But yeah, 8 out of 10, and I would definitely recommend this. You can find a link in the description where you can get your hands on a copy for yourself, or at least who to follow should a second chance campaign arise. But that is all I have for today, guys, so until next time, take care and God bless.